Planning a move to Atlanta, Georgia? Here's the top 5 things you need to know. Stick around. I'm TJ. Thanks for stopping by the Living in Atlanta, Georgia channel, where we talk about all things living and moving to Georgia. And we're also a team of realtors, so if you have any need of buying or selling in the area, contact us. We'd love to help. Okay, number 1, the difference between OTP and ITP. So if you look at a map of Atlanta, you'll see that Interstate 285 kind of is a rough circle around the city. Atlanta keeps growing, but 285 used to be kind of the edge or the perimeter of the city. If somebody is referring to you as living OTP, that means you're outside of the perimeter or kind of outside towards the suburbs of the city. ITP, you guessed it, inside the perimeter. Atlanta has some of the best suburbs of any US city. So it really depends on what kind of lifestyle you're seeking. So if it's city life that you're really looking for, then ITP is for you. Looking for a little more space to raise a family, it's OTP, or even in the greater metro area. Number 2, radio traffic reports are going to be your best friend. Atlanta's not really a pedestrian city, so it means that there's a ton of traffic, and I'm sure you've heard the rumors. They're absolutely true. Rush hour starts from approximately 8 a.m. and goes to about 11 a.m. and then it goes from about 3 to 6, and it can linger on if it's raining or if there's an accident, which is almost every day. My advice is to learn the nicknames and the local lingo of the various roads and landmarks, traffic landmarks. So there's obvious things like the downtown connector, but then there's other things you're going to hear on traffic reports like the Grady Curve or Spaghetti Junction. Those aren't really official names, but they kind of are because we've talked about it so much on the radio. Number 3, the cost of living is very reasonable. Even though we've seen prices increase all over the nation, the cost of living in Atlanta continues to be lower than most US cities. So if you're moving from any one of the bigger US cities, you're going to get a lot more house for your money. Cost of utilities tend to be a little bit lower, and there's not much in the way of heating bill because it's pretty nice here all year round. Number 4, the weather. The fall is absolutely amazing and the winters are mild. We get just below freezing, maybe a handful of times during the winter, but it's really nothing to worry about. You're not shoveling snow or worrying about any of that icy weather, usually. Now, summers are hot, but the heat's not what's going to get you. It's the humidity. It gets pretty sticky down here, and the humidity in the thick of the summer can be stifling at times. But it's only for just probably about 2 months out of the year that it gets kind of bad. Last but not least, pollen season. I mean the spring. So the spring is beautiful, and it's awesome time to get outside and get outdoors. Everything starts to bloom. Atlanta's nickname is the city in the forest, so everything turns green. It's beautiful. But about 2 weeks in April, we have serious pine pollen, and it turns everything yellow, and there's like a yellow greenish haze that falls over the whole city. So if you have allergies, don't open your windows during that time. And number 5, everything's named Peachtree. Everything. There's several roads with the name Peachtree in them. There's businesses named Peachtree. There's a few towns in the suburbs and cities named Peachtree. So it takes a minute. It can be quite confusing when you first move here, but you get used to it for sure. And it gets a lot easier, I promise. So be sure to watch my next video about moving to or living in Atlanta. And as always, if any questions, if you need more information, a deeper dive, feel free to reach out.